We're beginning a section on geometry. And just like if I was going to try to learn Spanish, I would not be able to do what you were telling me to do in Spanish until I knew what the words meant. So that's what we're going to do with geometry. I'm going to give you definitions today. The lesson will probably be shorter and your discovery will be longer today. When you work through these problems, you're going to work with lines and segments and rays and all of that, just so you become familiar with the vocabulary. And then we will switch over and we're going to do a section on patterns, which will lead us into algebra. Algebra and geometry, they always go hand in hand. So today, a point is a location somewhere in space. It's just a location in space. I'll probably run out of room, looks like already. A location in space. There's a point, just like it makes sense. Okay, there's a point right there. Okay, there's a point on the end of your nose. Okay, a point anywhere, okay, in space. Now, what I want to explain to you here is really kind of neat. When they explained it to me the first time, a line is a set of points, okay? It's, yeah, I am going to. Okay, a line, listen to it and try to write it because I'm not going to have enough room. A line is a set of points that extends indefinitely in both directions. So a line is indicated as a straight line, but it has arrows on it, meaning that it extends indefinitely in both directions. Line is a set of points that extends indefinitely in opposite directions. Now, the cool thing about this, when I tell you that a line is a set of points, means here's a point somewhere in space, okay? Here's a point somewhere in space. And that they're joined together, right? But they're not really joined together. Here's a point in space. Here's a point in space. Then there's another point in space and another point in space. And then there's one in between there and one in between there and one in between there and one 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 there, and there's some in between. And do you see that this set of points finally is so close together, it looks like a line, but indeed it's just a set of points really close together, okay? We're just working on definitions, and we just finished a point, location in space, and a line. That's what we're talking about. A line is a set of points that extends indefinitely in opposite directions. All right. Now, a line segment, this, I will show you how you write or indicate that you're talking about a line before I get to line segment. So if you were talking about line A, B, you would put the symbol for a line on top of it, line AB. Now, a line segment follows the exact same definition here, except a line segment does not go indefinitely. It's a piece of a line, a definite piece of a line, which means it looks more like, so here is the line, this is line AB, because it goes through point A and point B, but it indicates that it continues on and on and on forever. A line segment AB stops at the endpoints and does not extend. The segment is just a piece of a line. So this would be segment AB. It's only a piece of the line. and it's indicated as segment AB. You don't have, when you're talking about this, you don't have to put the endpoints on, but you don't put the arrows on it either. Line segment. You'll get some practice naming these in a little while. Now, array, again, is sort of the same as a line. It's sort of the same as a segment. The array is a set of points that has only one endpoint. So it stops here, but it continues in the opposite direction indefinitely. This is called array X, Y. Now, when you name array, make this note somewhere. When you name array, you always start with the endpoint letter first when you name it. It can't be named backwards. This one could be segment BA, but the array can't. It always starts with the endpoint. So you would indicate this as array XY. The first one will always be the endpoint of the array. Now, a plane isn't so hard to explain, but when we start to intersect planes, you've got to use some imagination. The plane is a set of points. Again, everything in the universe is a set of points, okay? But a plane is a set of points, and the best I can describe it, it's like a sheet of paper. There is a level of points, you know, in space. That is a plane. The only difference between this piece of paper and a plane is that it extends in all directions. So this flat surface on this level right here goes on forever, throughout the whole room, throughout the whole building, okay? And then there could be a plane over here, and it goes on this way. Do y'all see? Oh. It could be a plane that goes like this. Could be a plane on this level up here. Do you see? A plane is a set of points that extends in all directions. And it's similar to a piece of paper. Okay. All of these are a set of points. Now, if we come over here and we talked about a line, and if you look at the word collinear, collinear has the word line in it. Co means that whatever we're talking about being collinear means they're all on the same line. So if I have this line, and I have a point P, and a point K, and a point B, point P, point K, and point B are collinear because they're on the same line. That's what collinear means. So if you have point M out here, M is not collinear with these points. Now, if you had, let's go further, and if you had another line on this picture, then K and M would be collinear. Y'all see? Because they're on the same line, but M is not collinear with P, right? The same thing with coplanar. This is going to represent a plane, that piece of paper in space. And if there's a point, these points somewhere on the plane, these are all coplanar. These points are coplanar. All right. Parallel lines. The definition of parallel lines are two lines that never intersect. Again, two lines in the same plane
that never intersect. Because we could have a plane up here. We could have another plane here. And a line that's in this plane and a line that's in this plane would never intersect, right? But they are not parallel lines. So parallel lines are lines that are in the same plane and never intersect. Y'all see? We'll talk about those other kind of, yes.
No, you said that the parallel,
Parallel.
I don't know, the two L's in it, how they're just going straight down. Like that's just something I feel like you remember it. But they're not intersecting.
I'm getting pieces of what you're saying. Sorry.
Okay, the two L's, you see them?
The two L's.
Yeah. Where?
Parallel? Oh, I know what you're saying now.
Yeah.
That indicates what they are.
Yeah.
She's telling us that if you want to remember how to do this, parallel lines, you can think of these as the parallel lines. Yes? Good job, Christina. Okay, I'm sorry I can't hear you the first time. Okay? Perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle. Two lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle. This indicates a 90-degree or a right angle. We'll talk about angles later. But perpendicular intersect at a 90-degree angle. Okay? All other lines are intersecting lines if they just cross somewhere. If they're not parallel and they're not perpendicular, pretty good chance if they're in the same plane that they're intersecting lines. Everybody okay? Okay, this is going to be something that you just work with. About the first 3 pages in this packet just show you examples of these definitions. And then there are several pages on there that say, write what this looks like. Is this segment? Is this array? Is this a line? Okay, so you're going to practice the vocabulary. That's all you're going to do in this one. Everybody okay? All right, that's that packet. Now we're going to the other packet. Doris, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The other packet has to do with patterns. Now this is going to be important, but at the same time, I think it's kind of like solving a puzzle. Those of you that like puzzles or riddles, what we're going to do is try to establish a pattern. First of all, on the first several pages, a pattern of just pictures. Now I'm going to make up one of my own. What's the next piece of this? What is the next item in this pattern? There was 1x, 1y, 2 x's, 2 y's. What would be next? 3 x's.
X's.
You see how the pattern works?
I know if you're doing one of each letter, then 2, and 1 and 2 thousand.
That's why I tried to cram them together. Okay, how about this? This. What's the next?
Right.
A square. Good. This is what you're going to be doing in the pattern section. You're going to look for patterns. You need to start to be aware of patterns. So your first 2 pages in packet 3 have to do with picture patterns. Then on page 3 of packet 3, we're going to start with numbers. The lessons today are more self-discovery. So now we have a pattern that says 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, and I want to know the next 5 numbers. The next 5 numbers in this. So if I have 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, then 12, I want to know the rest of the pattern. So what do y'all think before I start to explain it?
17. Because it's
Yes, 17, then
22.
23. Now,
Because
before we do the rest of them, explain to them how you're getting this.
it says 2 and 3, and you're not like. Oh, you do.
See, we added, I think you're right. Yes, 30. Here, from here to here, we added 1. Here to here, we added 2. We added 3, and we're going to continue this pattern. We added 4. So I'm going to add 5 to get to the next one. 12 plus 5 is 17. Next time I need to add 6 and add 7. Yes. Jesus, good. And one more.
For 7.
Yes. Good. Every one of you came up with one. Very nice, because here we added 8 and then added 9. So you see the pattern. Yes? Let's try another one. How about come on, Jesus, help me. Yes. Come on, help me here. When you're trying to figure this out, just look at what happened between the first 2 and then test it on the next one and test it on the next one until you
Well,
see a pattern.
Can you do that backwards?
You
To get the
can,
pattern?
but that, if you do it backwards, that might be hard to fill these in.
No, just to get the pattern. Like,
Sure you can.
it's
Sure you
easier
can.
for me to add.
Okay. Then you do it your way and then tell me what the answers are. Okay. And Brandy, you're telling me we're subtracting.
Yeah.
So are you seeing a pattern yet?
I think we're.
Just try.
I think we're still adding in the top, but we're minus. Like,
Right, you're adding a negative, or you can say subtract. I'm subtracting.
right.
So what happened from here to here?
So 46, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're minusing 7 from 47. Is that right?
You're start from
Right,
left to
right.
right.
And then we're going 4, 5, 6.
Yes, then we minus 4 here.
Uh-huh.
Then we minus 5 here.
Uh-huh.
Then 6 here. So to get to this one, what am I going to have to do?
Minus 7 from.
So it's
47.
going to be 40. And then
32,
I'm going to have to minus 8, right? Because I'm minus 7 over there.
Yes.
32. Good job. And then
23,
y'all going to need a calculator.
then 13,
This one, minus 10,
13,
13. Good. Doris, I'm hearing you. And then
2,
minus 11,
2,
2.
Good job. Do y'all see how this is working? Okay, now on this page, they're going to be similar to that. And the next page, I'm pretty sure. Oh, hang on. Now it says the 2 rule pattern. We're on page 5. Let's try some of those. What do they mean by 2 rule? Let's find out. So now we have 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, okay. So let's just try this and see what this might be. There's 2 ways you can look at this one. I'm going to let y'all look for a minute.
3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2.
There she goes. We're adding 3 here, but only 2 here. But again, we add 3 here and 2 here. So what is this?
Wait, you do that right?
From 2 to 5, we added 2 plus 3 gave us 5.
But then 2, but it's 5 to 3 is minus.
No, I did 5.
Yes.
You are so right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Good job, Christina.
I'm so smart. I don't know what it is.
You are so smart. Okay. So the next one will be 7, then 5, then 8, then 6. Oh, so I need one more because I didn't fill in that one. Okay. And then 9. Good job. Now, another way I looked at this, I said every other number was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can look at it that way. Y'all need to stay here while I'm on recording and don't interrupt. Okay, you guys can do that stuff after. Any questions here? So there are 2-step sequences. Then now they said find the next 3 terms of these sequences. And I want to do one with decimals in it for you. 2, 6.5, 11. Y'all need your calculators?
Okay, right here one.
20. Let's find out the next 3. This is page 6. Are you working on it? What's happening?
So the next one is gonna be 25.5. Or 26.
Almost. What is it?
26.5.
Try again. You're thinking correctly, but you're adding wrong.
2.5.
What's happening here?
It's going up, 3.5.
4.5? 2 plus 4 is 6.
Yeah, 4.5.
Okay, what about here?
Six. 5.5.
So it's going 4.5 again, isn't it? And what you can do if you have your calculator, you just take the 11 and subtract that, and you can see that it took 4.5 to get there. And then, since we have 2 of them, you should take your 11 plus 4.5 and see if it works. And 4.5 and see if it works. 24.5, next one.
28.
29. And
33. 0.5.
very nice. So see, it's not any different. You just may need to use your calculator to figure this one out. Gotcha. Sherry. All right. So let's see if I can trip you up. Try this one. Because I know when you look at it, you'll be freaked out. So here's 9. The next one is 9 plus. Then the next one is 11. Okay, understand that this is one thing. This is one thing. Okay? Yes. So what do you think?
Just add that. We wanted to think religious one.
So tell me what this term is going to be right here.
13 plus 1.
This is the square root of 2. Okay. So he said 13 plus the square root of 2. What's this one? Try again.
15.
Because we went 2 and 2 and 2. And what's the next one?
17 square root of 2.
Try again.
18.
15 plus the square root of 2. Because here's the 9 and the 9. 11 and 11. 13 and the 13. 15 and the 15. See, as you go through this packet, it's going to take a little bit more thinking, but again, it's not impossible, right? Hi, Sherry.
Good morning.
Now, page 7, I want you to wait. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about page 7. But what we've done so far, and Sherry, I apologize, it's a short lesson today. We have gone through 2 packets. We did a lot of the vocabulary in this packet that I sent to you on Friday. It's packet number 1. It's full of definitions, so a lot of the pages are reference pages for your notes. And then there are some pages in there for you to work using the definitions. Then the other thing that we worked on today was patterns. Identifying patterns. It was packet number 3. And you'll work all the way through this packet number 3 also, except the last page. Don't do page, was it 8? Was that the last one? 7. Don't do page 7. We'll talk about page 7 tomorrow. Any questions? Doris, you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. So today was just our introduction into geometry and our introduction into patterns. We're going to be using all of this stuff in geometry. So we're moving into our geometry section now. Okay. That's it for me today. We'll talk about page 7 tomorrow.